Digestion of food. Digestion of food is accomplished by mechanical and chemical processes. Now, in the buccal cavity, two major functions are performed. One is the mastication of food, and another is the facilitation of swallowing. So the teeth and the tongue, they help in, and the saliva, they help in mastication and mixing of the food thoroughly. And mucus in the saliva, it helps in lubricating and adhering the masticated food particles into a bolus. So what is bolus? Bolus is the masticated food particles which are lubricated with the mucus. So the bolus is then sent to the pharynx and then to the esophagus by swallowing or deglutition. Swallowing is also called as deglutition. Now the bolus then further passes through the esophagus and by muscle contraction, which is called as peristalsis, and the gastroesophageal sphincters, they control the passage of the food into the stomach. The saliva which is secreted into the oral cavity, it contains various electrolytes like sodium ions, potassium ions, chloride ions, bicarbonate ions, and enzymes. Salivary amylase and lysozyme also. So the chemical process of digestion is initiated in the oral cavity by the hydrolytic action of the carbohydrate splitting enzyme, that is salivary amylase. And 30% of the starch is converted here, and by this enzyme where the optimum pH is 6.8, and it is converted into a disaccharide that is called as maltose, and lysozyme, which is present in the saliva, it also acts as an antibacterial agent that prevents infections also. So starch under the effect of salivary amylase in the pH of 6.8 is converted into maltose. So the intestinal mucosal epithelium, it also has goblet cells which secrete mucus. So the mucosa of the stomach has gastric glands, and the gastric glands, they have three major types of cells. Main are the mucus or neck cells which secrete mucus, then peptic or it also have peptic or chief cells which secrete the proenzyme pepsinogen, and the parietal or oxyntic cells which secrete HCl and intrinsic factor, which is essential for the absorption of vitamin B12. So the stomach stores the food for 4 to 5 hours, and the food then mixes thoroughly with the acidic gastric juice of the stomach by churning movements of the muscular walls, and this is called as chyme. So the proenzyme pepsinogen on exposure to hydrochloric acid gets converted into an active enzyme which is called as pepsin, and then further what happens is pepsin converts proteins into proteoses and peptones, which are also called as peptides. So the mucus and bicarbonate ions here present in the gastric juice, they play a very important role in the lubrication and protection of the mucosal epithelium. Then further what happens is here gastric juice, which plays an important role, it also help in hydrochloric acid which is there, it also provides the acidic medium for pepsin. So renin is a proteolytic enzyme which is found in the gastric juice of infants, and that helps in the digestion of milk proteins. So small amounts of lipases are also secreted by the gastric glands. So movements, they are there in the muscularis layer of the small intestine. These movements helps in thorough mixing of the various food particles with the secretions of the intestine, and then further digestion takes place. The bile, pancreatic juice, and the intestinal juice, they are the secretions which are released into the small intestine. Pancreatic juice and bile are released through the hepatopancreatic duct, and the pancreatic juice, it also contains the inactive enzymes trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, and procarboxypeptidases, amylases, lipases, nucleases, and trypsinogen is activated by an enzyme enterokinase, which is secreted by the intestinal mucosa into the active trypsin. which in turn activates the other enzymes of the pancreatic juice. The bile which is released into the duodenum, it contains bile pigments, bile salts, cholesterol, phospholipids, but no enzymes. Bile helps in the emulsification of fats. The secretions of the brush border cells of the mucosa along with the secretion of the goblet cells that constitutes the intestinal juice or succus entericus. This juice contains a variety of enzymes like disaccharides, bicarbonates from pancreas, which protects the intestinal mucosa from acid as well as provide an alkaline medium for the enzyme activities. So submucosal glands or the Brunner's glands, they also helps in this. So proteins, peptones and proteoses. They are partially hydrolyzed proteins in the chyme, and on reaching the intestine they are acted upon by the proteolytic enzymes of pancreatic juice. These are trypsin, chymotrypsin and carboxypeptidases, and they get converted into dipeptides. So carbohydrates in the chyme, they are hydrolyzed by pancreatic amylase into disaccharides. Fats, they are broken down by lipases into diglycerides and monosaccharides. Nucleases in the pancreatic juice, they are acted upon by nucleic acids to form nucleotides and nucleosides. So enzymes of the succus entericus, they also act on the end products of the above reactions to form the simple absorbable forms, and these final steps in the digestion occur very close to the mucosal epithelial cells of the intestine. Here we find dipeptides converted into amino acids under dipeptidases. Maltose under the effect of maltase gets converted into glucose. Lactose under the effect of lactase gets converted into glucose and galactose. Nucleotides to nucleosides, and finally into sugars and bases with the effect of nucleotidases and nucleosidases. And di and monosaccharides get converted into fatty acids and glycerol under the effect of lipases. So here we see the breakdown which is in the duodenal region of the small intestine, and the simple substances which are formed, then they are absorbed in the jejunum and ileum regions of the small intestine, and the undigested and the unabsorbed substances, they are passed on to the large intestine. Next topic will be absorption and the digestion of products.